A meteor falls out of the sky and lands in the woods outside a small town. Except it isn't a meteor. It's a circus tent, and something inside it is very hungry. Mike and Debbie just wanted a normal night together. Instead, she ends up trapped in a cotton candy cocoon inside an alien ship. By the end of the night, a police car is aiming straight at a clown in the middle of the road, and nobody can agree whether to run it over or let it go. Killer Klowns from outer space turns a shooting star into the strangest invasion horror has ever put on screen. Subscribe now. This recap is only the beginning of how weird it gets. An old farmer is the first person in town to notice something falling from the night sky. He digs a book out from under junk, flips it open, and lands on an oddly specific answer: Halley's Comet in his bag. He grabs a lantern and heads into the woods for a closer look, since nobody else in town takes this seriously enough to check. What he finds standing in a clearing stops him cold: an enormous tent, striped and glowing, sitting right where that light came down. Bigger than anything with any business being out here, and he can't find the entrance. Meanwhile, in a car parked well off the road, Mike and Debbie are spending their night exactly the way you'd expect two teenagers to, not paying the slightest attention to the sky. Then a streak of light rips across the dark above the trees, bright enough that even they can't ignore it. Across town, the Terenzi brothers are driving their usual shift, an ice cream truck through the neighborhood at night, one of them dressed head to toe as a clown named Jojo just to sell a few more popsicles. Nobody in this town takes the ice cream guys seriously. That's about to change. Word travels fast in a town this small. A meteor doesn't stay a meteor for long once people start talking about it. By morning, it's already an event, complete with free hot dogs and free tacos promised to anyone who shows up. Mike decides they should go take a look for themselves before anyone else beats them to it. Maybe, if they're lucky, somebody's handing out free passes to whatever this turns out. And there it is, a massive tent, striped red and gold, glowing like it's been sitting in that clearing for years instead of minutes. The farmer gets there first, his dog sniffing at the grass beside him, and for one strange moment, everything goes completely quiet. Then something laughs at him from inside the dark canvas. He doesn't get the chance to explain what he sees next. All that's left afterward is a scream, and then nothing. Down at the station, an officer named Mooney is having the best night of his year, shaking down two teenage boys for the serious crime of walking around town after dark. His partner Dave doesn't think this is a particularly good use of anyone's time. Mooney, predictably, does not care what Dave. He empties their pockets, calls them everything he can think of, and threatens to make an example out of them over littering nobody can actually prove happened. Dave tries to talk him down, tries to remind him these are just kids. Mooney's answer is to remind Dave exactly who's in charge of the shift, and that if Dave has a problem with how he runs things, that's Dave's problem to sort out, not his. It's the kind of scene that plays out in this station every single week. Nobody standing in that room has any idea how much tonight is actually going to matter. Mike and Debbie follow the dirt road as far as it'll take them, then leave the car behind and keep walking on foot. Whatever came down out there, it's close now. Real close. Neither one of them has the slightest idea they are about to walk straight through the front door of something that was never a circus to begin with. Whatever that was, Mike is pretty sure it wasn't a shooting star. It looked a lot more like something with an actual shape to it. Debbie isn't impressed either way. This has to be the worst possible spot in the world for putting on a show. Mike isn't about to let a technicality like that stop him. Deb, he says, "You're going to love this. Don't be a baby." She laughs despite herself and follows him in anyway. Inside, the place doesn't look like any circus tent has any business looking. Mike can't help himself. Someone decorated this like Clowns R Us threw up on it. Then a recording kicks in from somewhere overhead, cheerful and completely alone in the dark. Come see the incredible Miss 50-50 half man, half woman, the perfect double date. Nobody's actually performing. There's no crowd, just the two of them. Walking further down a corridor that keeps getting stranger the deeper they go. Somewhere further in, they start hearing things that don't belong in an empty tent. Screaming, distant, disembodied, gone before either of them can place where it came from. Debbie stops walking and lets out a scream of her own. No, she says, she's done. Whatever they're supposed to find at the end of this corridor, she doesn't want to find it anymore. Then it clicks for both of them at once. The shooting star they came out here to find, they're not looking at it from the outside anymore. They're standing inside it. Something else is out there too, and from the sound of it, it's heading straight toward them. Mike tries the logical explanation angle, mostly to convince himself. There has to be an explanation for this, he says. Calm down. But if the thing he's trying not to say out loud is actually real, then they're not exploring anymore. They're trapped in. Look, Debbie says. A face pushes out of a mass of pink, fibrous material, bloodied and barely conscious. Somewhere nearby, a name keeps repeating. Jose Lombardo. He isn't getting out on his own. And there they are, not costumes, not actors hired for the night, actual clowns, twisting balloons into shape with hands that move like they've done this 1,000 times before. One of them turns and the face fills the frame. Red nose, dead white skin, a grin that was never meant to be reassuring up. Whatever the balloon animal is supposed to be, it's alive and it's coming for them. Debbie's already screaming Mike's name, hauling on the car door before he's even caught up. "Get me out of here," she yells, and for once he doesn't argue. Laughter follows them through the trees the entire way back to the car, the kind of laughter that isn't for anyone's benefit but its own. "We have to tell the police," Debbie says, the second they're both breathing again. Mike isn't so sure. Nobody's going to believe two teenagers who show up talking about a circus tent that isn't a circus tent. But there isn't really another option, so they point the car toward the only building in town with a light still on, the Crescent Police Station. They don't so much arrive as crash into the parking lot, tires screaming, horn going, glass somewhere behind them giving out entirely. Debbie's out of the car before it's fully stopped. "Wait a second," someone asks. "What happened? You have to help us," she says. "We have to do something right now." Inside, it takes a minute just to get anyone to stop talking long enough to listen. "Everyone calm down," someone says, more for their own benefit than anyone else's. Mike and Debbie lay it out anyway, piece by piece, the same way it happened to them. They went to check out the shooting star. That's when they walked in and saw all those people, packed into cotton candy cocoons, pink and glistening. And there were these things, these killer clowns. They threw popcorn at us, Debbie says. "We barely got out." "Excuse me," Mike says, cutting off whoever's trying to redirect them, "but they need Dave, not anyone else." Dave, he's the only one in this building who's actually about to listen. Back at the station, Mike and Debbie lay out everything they saw, and for once somebody actually seems to be listening. "We're telling you the truth," Mike insists. "Go ahead, Dave," someone finally says. Mooney isn't buying a word of it, and he's not shy about saying so. Nobody's making a fool out of him tonight. Dave decides to check it out anyway. "All right," he says, "we'll go take a look," which would be fine if there weren't a decade of history in the front seat. "You can't tell me what to do," Debbie snaps at Mike. "I don't have to listen to you. You're not my boyfriend, remember?" Yeah, Dave agrees. "I'm not." "Debbie, please," is all she manages. A doorbell interrupts everything. Somebody ordered a pizza. It arrives right on schedule, carried in both hands by a delivery guy who happens to be wearing full clown makeup, and nobody at the station seems to think that's worth a second look. Somewhere behind them, something laughs. Nobody laughs along with it. Across town, the drugstore is still open, still stocked, still running exactly like it always does. Except the clerk behind the counter has bright red hair under that name tag, and the guy restocking candy in aisle 3 isn't blinking quite right. Nobody working the night shift here tonight actually applied for the job. Somewhere in the back of the store, someone is groaning behind a shelf of shaving cream, and nobody's coming to check on them. The clowns keep working the register like everything is completely normal. That's the whole trick. They don't need to hide. Nobody's looking for them in the first place. Dave and Mike head out to see for themselves, and Mooney is right there waiting to make it difficult. "I'll tell you the facts, sir," he says in the tone of a man who's already decided he's right. "You said they're killing people, so where are the bodies? Turn around and go home, buddy." "Yeah," Mike mutters once Mooney's out of earshot. Mooney's right. "I've got nothing better to do tonight than make trouble for everybody." Not far off, a local biker gang is having a much stranger night than usual. Something's moving through the fog with a flashlight, and it isn't one of them. "Hey, Eddie," somebody jokes, "nice new bike." "What's happening, Spike?" a woman asks and gets no answer. Somewhere close by, a voice starts singing about the big bad JoJo coming to town. "Look at this, honey," someone says, and immediately wishes they hadn't. "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off," one of them shouts right before the screaming starts. "Damn it, let's get out of here." Across town, families sit down to dinner under a sign that reads Big Top Burger, and the service is unsettlingly attentive. "Here's more ketchup for your fries," a clown tells a table of kids. "I want you to stay still and eat your hamburger," he tells another. Nobody notices how badly that should be bothering them. Later that night, out on a dark stretch of road lined with parked cars and scattered beer cans, Dave and Mike find something the bikers left behind, a scene nobody's walking away from clean. "What's going on?" Dave keeps asking and keeps not getting an answer he likes. He crouches down, reaches for something on the ground, and goes quiet in a way that says more than anything he could actually put into words. "That's the thing," he finally says, holding up something pink and sticky that has no business being here. "He was here tonight with Debbie and me. They got him. He's dead." Someone laughs it off like none of this has landed yet. Somebody out there is about to find out how badly they picked the wrong night for this. Jesus, no, God, the laughing doesn't stop, and it isn't coming from anyone having a good time. Whatever's making that sound enjoys itself more than the people running. Dave calls the state police over in Marlboro, going over Mooney's head completely. He's done asking permission at this point. Whatever that residue was on the body they found, one thing's already confirmed. It's not cotton candy, not really, not in any way that matters. Having Debbie caught up in this makes everything harder, Dave admits, and there's more behind that sentence than he's willing to say. Actually, Mike tells him it's got nothing to do with you. It's me. Somewhere close by, unbothered by either of them, a clown is laughing to itself in the dark. Then something lets out a sound like an elephant. Twice. And whatever's casting that shadow across the brick wall behind them is built like nothing that has any business existing in a town this small. An elderly couple watching it unfold can only stare and groan in disbelief, too stunned to even scream properly. Good God. Just let me off here, Mike says. I'll catch the bus home from wherever this is. Not a chance, Dave tells him. You're the only one who's actually seen these things up close. Then Mike freezes mid-argument. Look, a clown right there. There it is, Dave says, almost satisfied. Told you. Wait, Mike says, calm down, let me check this out first. Run him over, someone screams from the sidewalk. Let him go, somebody else screams right back, and Dave's caught dead center between two completely contradictory instructions with his foot already easing onto the gas. People are gasping, sprinting, scattering in every direction at once like the street itself is on fire. Shit, what the hell are you doing, Mike shouts once they're finally clear of it. You could have gotten us both killed back there, and for what? I don't know, someone says quietly in the flat tone of a person who genuinely doesn't. I've seen enough for one night is about all Mike can get out after that. There are clowns out there killing people, Dave radios in, on top of everything else that's already gone wrong tonight. Mooney, this is an actual emergency. Somewhere across town, women are screaming into the dark and nobody's coming fast enough. Wait, hold on, somebody says, squinting into the headlights. Those aren't the killer clowns. Those are just the Terenzi brothers. You too, Mike says, not sure whether to laugh or panic. Rico, Paul, Mike, how are you? Want an ice cream? One of them offers, because as far as they're concerned, this is still a normal night for selling popsicles. No, man, listen, Mike tells them, dropping the small talk fast. Something terrible has happened tonight. There are clowns out there murdering people right now while we're standing here talking about ice cream. Come on, guys, I'm not kidding around. Mike, what do you want us to do about it? One of the brothers finally asks, which turns out to be exactly the right question. Across town alone, Mooney finally gets his proof up close. You're in Mooney's territory now, he informs it like that sells anything. I should shoot you right now, you red-nosed monster, he says, hand on his holster, treating the thing in front of him like any other perp he's ever hauled in. I'm supposed to read you your rights, he mutters, because that's procedure, and procedure is the one thing Mooney has ever trusted. Hey, Officer Mooney, someone calls from a safe distance. Come on, let's get out of here. Mooney doesn't move. Someone tells the man in the cell to shut up and get in there, and for once the person giving that order isn't wearing a badge. It's a clown calmly locking a door that only opens one direction. You're going to be begging for mercy, it tells whoever's now on the wrong side of those bars, and it doesn't sound like it's joking. Outside, Crescent Cove looks like any other quiet night in a small town, empty streets, parked cars, streetlights doing their job for nobody in particular. Inside, somebody's leaning against the bars, catching their breath, staring at nothing, in exactly the kind of silence that never... Police department, someone answers, half paying attention, already reaching for the next form on the pile. Lunatic, they mutter after hanging up, filing one more panic call under the same drawer as every other one tonight. Nobody at this desk has figured out yet how many of tonight's lunatics turned out to be completely... Somebody starts looking for Mooney. Not urgently, not yet, more out of habit than actual worry, the way you check on a coworker who's gone quiet for a little too long. Mooney, are you back here? No answer comes back. On any other night, that would just mean he stepped out for smoke or got tangled up yelling at somebody half his age for no good reason. Tonight, it means something else entirely. And everybody left in that building who's paying attention can feel exactly what that something is, even before they go looking for it. Someone grabs a flashlight and starts working down the row of cells, one barred door at a time, gun drawn out of habit more than confidence. The hallway's lit red and wrong, the kind of red that turns every shadow into something that looks like it just moved, even when nothing did. Each empty cell is its own small relief. Each one closer to the end of the hallway is its own small piece of dread, stacking up on top of the last. Then the flashlight lands on something behind the bars and just stops moving completely. God, oh God. Whatever's left of Officer Mooney is exactly what everybody in this building has spent the entire night refusing, out loud and to each other, to believe. Somewhere else in the building, unbothered by any of this, a clown has made itself comfortable behind somebody's desk. Papers everywhere, a lamp still on, feet up like it just clocked in for an ordinary shift. This isn't a break-in anymore. It's a takeover, quiet and almost polite, and as far as anyone can tell, nobody's noticed yet. A gun comes up fast, aimed at a small figure in a hooded costume that raises both hands like it actually understands what a gun pointed at it means. Something glowing hums in the corner of the room, green and unnatural, pulsing on its own rhythm. And whatever it is, it very clearly does not belong in this building, or anywhere near a town this size. CCPD, this is Marlborough State Police. A voice finally answers and somebody nearly sobs with relief. Jack, we need your help right now. What are all these reports about circus clowns? Jack wants to know, still half amused, and that question is about to sound, "Look, Mike, let's go," someone says, and the story shifts back to the road, back to whatever Mike and Debbie are driving toward next. If there are killer clowns running around out here tonight, somebody scoffs into the radio, not even hiding the eye roll in his voice, then I'm Porky Pig. Somewhere behind that joke, in the dark where nobody's looking, 3 figures in colorful costumes are already standing over someone who is not getting back up. "Get out of here," somebody keeps telling them more than once, more insistent every single time they say it. "The park's closed," a voice adds, almost polite about it, like closing time is genuinely the only thing anyone in this town needs to worry about tonight. Nobody's buying it. Nobody's leaving either. "Miguel, Debbie," Mike keeps calling her name into the dark, louder each time, and the only thing that answers back is a sound like a drill somewhere close by, grinding through something it shouldn't be grinding through at this. "The house right up there," somebody starts to say and doesn't get to finish before everything changes. Holy shit, what is that? Look at that. Whatever's happening up ahead, it's happening to Debbie, and Mike is already moving before anyone else finishes processing it. "Come on, we can't lose them," Mike shouts, hauling himself into the nearest thing with wheels and an engine already running, which happens to be an ice cream truck. "Hi, Mike," the Terenzi brothers say, entirely too calm for the situation. "Come on, Mike, what do you want? This is an ice cream truck," one of them points out, as if that fact settles anything. "Hey, Rich, the police," somebody says. "Stop the truck." "Shit, Rich, you did it this time," somebody adds, while the truck full of grown men rolls to a guilty stop. "Why don't you say what you actually mean next time?" somebody grumbles, and then they see him. Dave, are you okay? God, Jesus, let's go see what happened." Whatever happened to Dave tonight, it wasn't nothing. "They have Debbie," Mike tells him, no time for anything softer than that. "Get in the truck, buddy." "They went that way, but we lost them," somebody admits. "If you were a clown," Dave asks, thinking out loud, "where would you hide?" "The park's closed," a voice tells them again, somewhere in the background, completely beside the point at this stage of the night. "What are you boys planning to do with those pies?" somebody asks, not remotely prepared for whatever the actual answer turns out to be. Whatever the plan is now, it's already bigger than any one truckload of people can pull off alone. "Oh shit," Mike says, and it will not be the last time tonight that phrase applies. "Dave, did you actually get through to anyone?" Mike asks. "Yeah," Dave says. "Well, not exactly. Everybody stay together," somebody calls into the dark, which by this point is less a plan than a prayer, repeated by people running out of better ideas. "All thinks they can kill them. Just straight up kill them, no plan more complicated than that. Those guys are like cats," somebody warns him. "They always land on their feet." Turns out they've picked up reinforcements too, Debbie's roommates, dragged into this with about as much warning as everyone else got. "This is the store where Debbie and I were," Mike says, pointing at a building that should look completely unremarkable and doesn't, not anymore. "Go, Mike," somebody tells him. And for the first time all night, going forward isn't a question. It's just what happens next. They find it, the yellow balloon, exactly where somebody said it would be, and this time nobody's second-guessing the tip. Mike doesn't need convincing. Yeah, she's in there, that's her. After everything tonight, the tent, the cocoons, the chase, losing her entirely for a stretch that felt a lot longer than it actually was, Debbie is right there, close enough to reach. "What are you doing?" "Back up, Mike, just back up, okay? Get ready to run." Every step forward has to be quiet and precisely timed. There won't be a second chance if this goes wrong. "Wait a second," Dave says, stopping everyone cold. "We can't just leave. There could still be other people alive in these balloons, actual people, not just Debbie." Mike doesn't have room in him right now for anyone else's rescue. "Come on," he says, "it's too late for that." Shoot it! Somebody's already firing before the sentence even finishes. 3 words repeated like a countdown nobody agreed on the timing for. "Yeah, let's go," comes the answer, half command and half prayer, and then everyone's moving at once. "Now what?" somebody asks, staring at what they just pulled free. "Nobody's putting me in a balloon again," the person mutters, still catching their breath, still not convinced this is actually over. "Come on, Mike, hurry up. How exactly did you two end up stopping here in the first place?" somebody else wants to know. "Come on, let's try here," Dave says, pulling at the nearest door he can find. No, Debbie says, flat out refusing, some instinct in her clearly not ready to open anything else tonight. "Come on," Dave tells her again, gentler this time, and eventually she moves. "Open the door, Mike," Dave calls out from somewhere further down, already 3 doors ahead of everyone else, treating the whole ship like a maze designed specifically to waste the little time they have left. "Shit, another door, come on, open the door. Another door, hurry up. Debbie, come on, Dave, come on." It becomes a rhythm after a while, pull, curse, move, repeat, every single door in this place leading to another identical corridor that looks exactly like the one before it. "Open the door, Mike," Dave shouts somewhere ahead in the dark. And for one long stretch, it genuinely feels like this ship was built by something that has never once had to escape anything in its entire existence. Look at this place, somebody says, half in awe, half in horror. Where do we even go now? Come on. Then Debbie screams, sharp and sudden, and whatever calm anyone had left evaporates completely. Everybody up. Let's go. Move. It gets said 4 different times in 4 different voices, which tells you exactly how much anyone's actually listening to reason at this point. Hi Rico, Paul. In the middle of everything falling apart, running into the Terenzi brothers is almost funny. Give me the microphone, somebody says, and a voice booms out over the whole place, warped and enormous. I am the great and powerful Jojo. Don't hurt them, someone begs. Let them go. You will obey, the voice answers back. Let them go. Now's our chance, somebody whispers. The second attention shifts. Rico, Paul, man, am I glad to see you too. Get in the truck, let's go. Turn it the right way. Come on, Rico, pull the choke, pull the choke. It's the least dignified escape of the night and somehow also one of the most urgent. What the hell is that? Somebody asks, and then it answers for itself with a roar big enough to shake the truck they're all sitting in. Everybody out of the truck. Now, whatever's coming for them, it's bigger than anything that's shown up so far tonight, and it very clearly isn't planning on letting the truck slow it down. Rico, Paul, somebody calls out into the chaos, and the roar answers again, closer this time. Dave finally sees an opening. Look, there's a way out now. Mike, take Debbie, get her out of here. I'll draw its attention. We can't, Debbie says, refusing to leave him behind. Come on, guys, move, run for help. Somebody has to stay back and make sure everyone else gets the head start they need. Come on, you damn clown, somebody snarls, done running, at least for one more second. Mike, vamos, Mike, vamos, Mike, vamos. The word gets repeated so many times it stops sounding like language and starts sounding like the only thing left that anyone can actually control right now. And then, high above all of them, something starts to move. They're taking off. The tent lifts off the ground first, whole and impossible, dragging the glow of the carnival up into the dark with it. Every police car in the county shows up at once, lights spinning across a lot that's about to become a launch pad for something nobody here was ever meant to see leave. Something screams high and awful right as the whole structure tears itself apart against the sky. Whatever that creature actually was underneath all the paint and the grin, it doesn't survive the trip. The cavalry gets here exactly the way it always does in this town. A few minutes too late. Officer Hansen stands in the middle of it all, badge catching the light, looking up at a sky that isn't handing out any easy answers tonight. Around him, the people who made it out are quietly doing the math on who else did. Somebody finally lets themselves fall into someone else's arms, the kind of hug that only makes sense after a night exactly like this one. Nobody needs to explain what it means. Everybody standing in that parking lot. David, David, somebody keeps calling his name out into the dark over and over until finally, impossibly, he calls back. You got the man, somebody says, and it finally lands. Yeah, comes the answer. You'd have made a good popsicle back there. Killer Clones from outer space isn't quite done with this town, and if this story found you tonight, there's another recap waiting to find you too.